Welcome back to the Real Triathlon Podcast. We got all the hosts here today. We have Jackson Laundry,
Hey guys,
Nicholas
I'm Jackson.
Chase, and the star of the show, Lisa Becharas.
I'm here, guys.
Everyone's favorite.
Everyone's favorite. Hey, when I was at Oceanside this weekend, Kenny Withrow, photographer extraordinaire, came up to me and said, I love that you're on the podcast. I said, oh my God, you listen? He said, yeah, I do. I usually want on like the airplanes, and I think you're a great addition because you bring the guys back in.
Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate your patronage.
I only paid him a little bit of money to say that.
You
Nice.
could have just made that story up for free.
I could.
You'd have to pay him for that.
Well, I was sitting next to the CEO on the plane, and he told me he loves listening to the podcast, and he endorses it at Ironman officially.
Officially.
Just saying. True story, probably.
Yeah, I was sitting next to someone really famous and rich, and they said they listened to the podcast too.
Okay, see, it can happen. Great. Welcome back. If you're still here, Jackson's just finishing up dinner. And Lisa, we had a great day watching you at IRONMAN 70.3 Oceanside because I woke up and I was like, today's the day. I'm going to I'll be sick. I'll be watching it. I'm going to have so much fired up energy, and nearly karate kicked the old television when I saw you. I went to the bathroom. I came back here in the front. I was like, what? How was it? How was it out there? Like feeling that? Was it like within your reach? Or were you like, I'm burning it hard? And what was your head space?
Ow. Just whacked my hand really hard. I'm super happy with the day overall. A lot of really good positive things to take away from it. I think, so my plan all along, I rode Oceanside last year really poorly, like very dumb. I rode the first hour like way too hard and then just died the rest. And you guys have done Oceanside before. That is not how you do this course, because the second half is hard. That's when the hills hit. That's when you got a little bit of a headwind on the last 11-mile stretch. So the plan was to stay within yourself, hold back, and then attack basically when you get to the hour mark. However, I did get a little excited the first, 40-ish minutes and rode a little bit hard. And you know that there's like an out and back section. That's basically the only feedback you ever get on the course to know where you are in relation to other people. Yes. And on that out and it comes at maybe like mile 15 or something. So it comes pretty early. And I was so close to there were 4 girls ahead of me. Steph Clutterbach, Paula, Grace, and Jackie. And I saw them. I was like, oh my God, I'm right there. They're all riding together. Like, let me go catch them. So that's when I started to like pick it up a little bit. And I don't know. So I apparently wasn't closing any time gap. And so I laid off.
Not until the hills.
And then when we got to the hills, there's this big first one. And it's crazy because you can see everyone. And you're like, they're right there. But in reality, they're like further away. But you're like, I'm only like 50 meters behind them. But
that's like a 10-minute hill, I feel like.
It's forever. And it's so steep. But yeah, so my plan was to just keep going. And there's a speed trap on this course. And that's right when I caught Steph Clutterbach. She had fallen off the group a little bit. And I got stuck right behind her on the speed trap. And I don't know if she had her like speedometer set in kilometers instead of miles per hour because she's from the UK. And I was like, behind her, I was like, Steph, go faster! Because the pros were able to go 35 miles per hour during that section. And we were probably hanging out around like 27, 29 miles an hour. I'm like, I want to ride like 33. So after that section, I went around Steph and then closed the gap to Paula and Grace, who had fallen back Grace and Jackie, who had fallen back from Paula a little bit. Then I guess I just dragged them with me to go catch Paula.
You did.
And then we were all a nice pack again, which was great. And guys, I probably should have been disqualified, which is crazy.
But only because of a good reason.
Well, because I was trying not to draft. So Paula had come back around me, and we were making a left-hand turn, and I got a little too close to Paula. So the race ranger went red. So I was like, all right, time to go around. Like, we're going around. Like, let's take the curve a little faster. I just take curves faster. And so I'm like, gotta pass Paula. And then as I'm passing her, I go, oh shit, we're behind the commissary, which in that race is a no passing zone. But I had never seen the like no passing zone.
The commissary.
Commissary? How do you say it?
Not the commentary.
Commissary.
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 It's the grocery store.
The grocery store and the military base. And so I had a oh shit moment. Like, they're coming, I'm disqualified, that's it. But I never got disqualified, so that's a plus. And yeah, rode my way back into T2, got into T2. And then, yeah, I led the first 3 miles of the run, which was surprising because I was like, these are legit runners. Why haven't they caught me yet? Because we were all in T2 together. Where are they? I definitely went out a little hot, but not like crazy.
It didn't look too hot. It looked like you still had pretty good control. You were relaxed.
Yeah.
Morgan and I were sitting on the couch watching, and she was convinced. Like, she was like, "Oh, how's Lisa gonna do? You guys getting off the bike together?" And I was like, "Well, hopefully she can, hold it together, and she might run her way into the top 5 or something." And then you're in the lead, and Morgan's like, "See, I told you!" Like, mad at me, and she's like screaming, like, "Go, Lisa!" And she's like, "Lisa's gonna win this thing," and I'm like, "No, she's not. She's just running too fast."
Like, we're only 3 miles into it, and we got 10 miles left.
They didn't catch you because you sent it quite hard. And they were like, you're coming back.
You're coming back. But
you
no,
held it
I
together
mean,
pretty well, though.
Yeah, it was the best 70.3 run I've ever had in my life, which was a great step forward and really surprising what you can do if you, like, not even do any crazy run workouts, if you just run for 12 weeks in a row. It's amazing. Consistency is key. But yeah, I had a couple of people ask me after the race, they're like, that was so gutsy of you. Like, you really, like, sent it on the bike. And I was like, no, that was the plan all along. Like, that was the plan. Crush these bitches. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Lots of respect for my competitors.
Of course.
We got to clip just that, just right there. In this week's episode, crush these bitches, and that's it.
That's it. But
I think we're gonna do that.
That'll be a new soundbite that we're gonna just have as a.
We're gonna like every time we want to push like a button, like a radio announcer, come on down, yeah, crush these bitches. Pew, 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 pew.
But anyways, I want to be put in the conversation with Paula more often about riding. Everyone's
I agree.
Everyone is like, you rode with Paula, that's amazing. I'm like, it is amazing, she's great, but I've ridden with Paula, I've outridden Paula before. Put us in the conversation together. Okay? Put me
fired.
And I have so much respect for Paula, and I know she said it was a little bit of an off day for her, but I think it's a little an off day for her, and she still wins.
Backhanded compliment city over here. Yeah, it wasn't that hard of a day. It was a little bit subpar. Sorry I beat you so bad.
Sorry.
She had like one of her best runs ever.
That was great. It was so consistent. She performed like she was right where she needed to be all day. She held it together. You had to send it on the bike, and you did, and then you equally sent it on the run. And so
in retrospect, you
made it actually fun to watch. You made it fun to watch, Lisa, because guess what? If it was just those girls up front, and then they all got off the bike and ran together, Paula would have just kind of, maybe Jackie and Paula would have gone a little bit more. But we had an underdog out there. We had the breakaway. We were rooting for the breakaway.
Yeah. Morgan. I like Morgan a lot more now. She believes I can win.
I lost $100,000. I put $100,000 on you.
It's a hilarious joke, but like it wouldn't even be that shocking to me. I don't know why.
We're gonna get it all back.
Lose $100,000 on RTS betting on one of us. It would definitely be Nick. He'd be like, well, I guess probably a good idea. Let's do it. Well, I'll just make it back. I'll just work harder after. It'll be fine.
Just sell a couple things.
But the thing is, if you were betting $100,000 on Lisa, if it was like a real sports betting thing, that probably would have had like at least
10 to 1
or 10 to 1. So you'd be a millionaire.
No, I probably went a lot more than 20 to 1.
I don't know.
Lisa,
in any case, it was freaking awesome. I watched it.
Yeah, you don't give yourself enough credit. Like when you look at you with these girls racing, like you belong there. You belong at the front of the race. It's not like you're up and coming or, like this is a big breakthrough. Like this is where you belong, and we've seen it for a couple of years now.
I mean, short course racing, you even dominated that. Like, come on, girl.
When did I do short course racing?
Or shortish.
So,
Olympic.
Shortish course. Oh, Olympics, my bread and butter,
I
guys.
know, but look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I'm growing
You're
up.
coming into St. Anthony's a heavy favorite, I would have to think.
Oof, let's not put that pressure on. I like to be the underdog.
I can't wait to see who tries to like ride with you. They're like, I could stay with Lisa, by golly.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
hope nobody
well,
rides with me.
There's gonna be a pro male out there that you catch in the swim that thinks they can bike with you, and you're just gonna drop their ass.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll get to. I want to talk
walk.
about pro males in a second. But Lisa, first and foremost, St. Anthony's. If you can handle the bike well in those fast zigzag corners, like you can just get so much on anybody.
Yeah,
cornering.
you just have to frickin' corner a bike with a
Yeah.
gust of wind.
Especially
you're-
in St. Pete.
Yeah, it's hands down my favorite. That bike course I think was like designed for me.
It
I
is
was
a
like,
fun
this
one.
is for you, Lisa.
You're going downhill like 35 miles an hour into that first after the out and back, and you take that hard right. Oh man,
Yeah.
you just slingshot out of there like, "Bah," and then you just drop in. Bah. Just get pitted.
That's what I think. Those are the sound effects I make when I ride that course.
Okay, Lisa, you're the best. Thank you for your performance. Greg Harper, shout out to Greg Harper and Colin Soup. Had good days as well. Greg Harper, obviously, because he was like I was like watching Lord of the Dance, like of swimming.
He frickin' I saw just a clip and I was like, oh my gosh, how do you move so fast in the water?
Yeah, it was like his hands were just like nonstop going, and then there was a little gap, and then his little feet were like just little turbines. I just envisioned that when I was really sick in the pool the other day, and I was like, I can be like Greg one day. It was motivational. Okay, so Oceanside, success. Other things we noticed about the race in general, broadcast was good except for Levy Didi, but you just didn't know who Patrick Lange was versus Andreas Dreitz. That was a big follow-up. I mean, definitely way different fellas there. But I think, how do we feel individually? Men interacting with the female part of the race. Like, how does that go for you? Lisa, you're last because you're a woman. We need to hear the men's, and we need to actually finalize with the ones. We want to end with the one that matters, yours. So let's get our bullshit out of the way. Jackson, go.
Well, just a real quick comment on commentating. I thought it was good, but they were missing a commentator. They needed that, like, Barry Shepley or that type of, like, hype person that's not an expert, because they had Didi and they had Craig Alexander, two experts of the sport, but they didn't have that, like, excitement announcer, sort of like color commentator who's, you know, like announcing the finish, making it really exciting. Like, they did Didi did a good job of announcing the finish and you know, doing the best she could, but she's not a color commentator. So I think that's what they're missing. But as far as the men getting involved in the women's race a little bit on the bike, I mean, I think there needs to be some different rules. Like, if the males get past, they need to have like a 30-meter draft zone or something like that off the females. Like, it's tough because if they get in the middle of the group,
It's hard to break away.
But I guess, like, if a whole group passes them and they have a 30-meter draft zone, the first one passes them, they got to drop back 30. Then the next girl can just go and pass them, and the next girl can just go and pass them, and they essentially would then get the right of way. So they would end up at the back. Like, you can't have pro males in the middle of a female pack. They have to be off the back because it's not fair. Like, turning a pack of 3 into a pack of 6, way easier to hang on to the back of that. Not only that, but the pro men are typically like bigger bodies, moving more air, making even more draft. And it's just not fair to the women who are trying to have their own race and break apart gaps and, you know.
Yeah, those gaps get brought back by sometimes a little bit of a help in between the gaps by a male cyclist just being by himself. Like, it's a lot of different psychological effect also to get it done. But, like, what are the rules we should consider? Garrick, go.
Well, I think there's a few things to factor in. First of all, I think the gap from the start of the men to the women should be 10 minutes. Always 10 minutes. It should be 10 minutes.
I
Hands
agree
down.
with that.
If it's 10 minutes, then no pro male in a 70.3 is getting caught in the swim. So you don't have to worry about them starting the bike together because there are really fast women, right? And then if you get caught on the bike, yeah, 30 meters back or your race is done. Is like draft legal, getting lapped out, your race is over, right? Like that's kind of what it is. If we can do that, give that 10-minute buffer in a 70.3. But even in an Ironman, I mean, but like stuff happens. You get flat tires, stuff like that, I guess. But what you also have to factor in is, when the lead woman pulls up on one of the men, you have to factor in the fact that they're getting pulled along by the lead motos too, right? So it's going to be significantly easier for that pro male that's getting caught to sit in after that. So how do we account for that, right? Because the front of the race is always faster because of the motos. That's just how it is. That's the reality of it. And that's an advantage that they're going to have. So how do we factor that in?
I think the women should start first.
You're not up yet.
Dang it.
But
yeah, Lisa, this is about women. Don't talk.
We have to go. Basically,
the 30 meter should fix that, essentially, would it not? Like,
yeah.
30 meter, you should be getting spit out.
But if there's like 3 to 5, like if there's a staggering of males, and amongst that 30 meters, there's like a bunch of women trying to make moves, like it's crazy to think that like that won't affect the chase pack significantly to catch up to that other group. It's like there should be like a white flag that gets waved from like the female conglomerate as they're coming through. Someone rides ahead to the male cyclist and white flags them, and it's like relegated to the back of the next group. And if there's someone coming up on you making speed, you just let them go. You don't have like, I don't know. Or
but
if you do get lapped out, then you get one time and one chance to come back and fight back, and then you're done.
Yes. That's exactly what I just thought about now. That's a great idea, because if something happens or whatever, you should get one attempt, one chance to go by them and then stay ahead of them. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. So,
yeah, because you could have a panic attack, or you could
that would fix it for mechanicals, right? Somebody stops, fixes a flat, then if they get past, then they'll repass, they'll be faster. So that would be good in that
makes
scenario.
Sense. Well, what is the current time? Is the current gap 3 minutes or 5 minutes? Real fast.
It was 5
some
minutes
is
at
3,
Oceanside.
Some is 5. It's 5
Okay.
minutes at Oceanside.
Okay.
Oceanside seems particularly bad with this. Like, you don't see it in a lot of other races, but for some reason it always happens at Oceanside. I've never done the race. I've only watched it. But it always seems particularly bad there.
It's because Paula and Taylor Knibb always race there, and now Lisa.
Yeah, and Lisa. So I'm really just listening because I want to know what I have to do when Taylor Knibb comes by me in Texas.
You won't have to worry because she'll
wave
just
at
pass you and keep going.
Way too fast, yeah.
You're not going to be able to...
Draft Kane.
All right, girls, I was waiting for you. Let's get this show on the road.
Pull me.
Pull me back up into position 50th of the men. I need
Yeah.
I did.
No,
Go
you
ahead,
go,
Jackson.
Lisa. It's your turn.
It's Lisa's turn now.
My turn.
Okay, Lisa, the men have figured out what to do with the women's race. Now you go ahead.
Tell us how to really sort this out.
So, well, actually, I did stand up in the pro meeting the day beforehand, and I made a plea. I said, guys, if you are a tail end of the men's pro field and you see the women, the front end of the women's like field coming, can you guys just be a little bit more aware of the situation and try not to like be in our group? So if we're coming by in a group, can you like not hang out in the middle of the group? So I did make a point of that, and I don't know.
Did anyone go like asshole?
No, Cam Worf said something after, like said something about like, oh, can we make a rule for that with like the women in the women's swim too or something when women swim past us.
Because like the women did swim past a lot of men, but then I saw a lot of the men going by on the bike.
Yeah, which is totally fine. That's totally
Yeah.
fine. Like you could be a shitty swimmer and then just get on your bike and pass us all.
Maybe if you haven't passed the full women's field within the first 15 miles, then you get some relegation or something like that. What about that?
That would be good. But what if you get a mechanical or something?
Then you're never going to pass them anyways.
Yeah, that's probably true. But
Take care of your bike.
yeah, take care of your bike.
I'm getting all the bad.
I
news.
totally screwed that up.
So I was just gonna say I'd rather the women's field be closer to the age group start and further away from the pro men, because the people that are catching the pro women's field are going to be really good age group men. So there were a couple age group men that passed me during the race, and they're fine because they're coming from behind and they passed me and I don't see them again. Or at least that's how it was in this race. Like they passed and they pieced. And it was just the tail end.
You're at the front of the women's race though. So like how is that affecting the middle of the women's race and maybe the back of the women's race?
Probably a lot more.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. Yeah. Where they're sprinkled in more.
But when I raced in Spain, it was like 10 minutes between the men and the women, and then I think it was another 10, maybe 15 minutes until the age groups start, and it was
For
great. For a full, yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what I don't get is like they're always at these 70.3s like, oh, you know, tight timelines is really like we can't do anymore. Can't do any more in 3 minutes. Can't do it. But then they'll have like not in Oceanside, but in a lot of these places they'll have a full distance race in the same city later that year. And you're like, you can't stretch it out 10 minutes and you could stretch it out another 8 hours. Like,
Yeah.
get it together. Like, it's so that you can save $20 freaking dollars not having 10, you know what I mean? Like another
It's
$1,000
probably
not
about
having police.
10 grand a minute, probably something like that. I guarantee it's something crazy.
I don't know, but how
Probably
crazy?
not 10 grand a minute, but
I bet it
another
is
10
something
minutes,
similar.
10 grand a minute, Nick.
Yeah, might make my words.
That's $600,000 an hour.
Hey, you cook with your Canadian dollars, we cook with American dollars over here. They're more valuable.
Even worse. In any case, I think it's BS that they can't do a 10-minute stagger between each.
Yeah.
I think that's
But-
better. So when you said you think the women should go first, was that a joke or for reals?
Kind of, but I mean, kind of a joke, but also like kind of like this would be like the most epic clusterfuck and like so much to talk about in the broadcast.
Why don't
Like,
the
oh
men
my
and the women
God.
just start together?
I think
That
you
would
should
be a
start the
total
women.
cluster.
They used to do
they
that.
have to. They used to.
That
That'd
would
be-
be like so crazy.
Could you imagine though? Like, what if it was just?
You'd have the weirdest shit ever because you'd have like a couple of the girls in like the lead men's pack and they would just get like boosted so hard. Like, so like the Lauren Brandons of the world would actually swim like a minute quicker because for once they'd have someone to draft with, basically.
Yeah.
A whole group to draft with, and they'd be like, "Oh, this is crazy! I'll just jump on the back of this," and then like it would be pretty neat, but also
Let's
be
gender neutralize
Oh.
it, man. Let's create our own series. Iron People.
What if you did it so that you timed the men pro to start a specific amount back from the women, so the women pro get to start first, and so
There's
you
a
time
chase.
it. You time it where everyone is kind of coming off the bike at a similar time.
That'd be sick.
So then you have, but it would only work if it was a pro only race, because obviously Ironman's not
would,
going to
yeah.
give us.
they've done chase
40
races
minutes.
before that
It'd
are
be
cool, where they're
sweet.
like,
Yeah.
"All right,
The old
the women get a 10% lead. Whoever crosses the line first wins. That's the end of it."
old New York City try. I don't think it's old. I think they still have it, but
That'd be
yeah, there
fun.
used to be that chase format, and the time gap kept getting bigger.
I have the best idea of all of us.
Yeah.
We get zero special preference on when we get to start. We get to start queued up
Nah.
just like all the other age groupers, and we got to deal with the same bullshit. We don't get our own racks. We're just spread amongst the chaos. And
We
we
don't
have
get
to
our own porta potty.
No, we don't get anything.
We don't even get to start in the first corral. They just randomly smatter us through the field.
Yeah, and you just have to deal with whatever day you got, and to the winner go the spoils.
That'd be
That'd be
crazy.
the-
It'd be like a war zone out there. You'd be like, catch another pro on the bike. You'd be like, "Oh man, this fucking crazy, isn't it? Oh, come on, let's work together."
I don't even know where we are, man.
There's you going the wrong way back there.
Well, it's like when you do a race and the bike is like 3 laps or something, and you're just screaming at people the whole time.
Like in Chattanooga last year.
Oh, that was ugly.
That was
God.
scary.
And
That's
you know
what it was
what?
in South Africa.
Every time you get that, you end up with having, like, you got to respect the age group grind because that's just their normal race. That's their normal, awesome Ironman race, and it's a war zone out there, man.
Just
We're
getting
just like,
yelled
oh,
at.
you're last.
Just getting yelled at by Jackson.
I was losing my voice in that race. At one point, I was just like,
Sorry to anyone who's ever got yelled at by a pro just trying to truck on through everybody.
Yeah.
Safety reasons. But yeah, so Oceanside was cool. I was gonna say the men's race was pretty exciting from what I could gather. So
Oh yeah, legit good.
They both
They're
were
good
like.
stuff.
I think we should mention how Paula and freaking Jackie were like back and forth the whole. They 12 seconds apart at the end or something like that.
Yeah, what a
close.
great drive.
yeah,
Paula got out ahead of Jackie, I think, and then Jackie went out harder, got 30 seconds ahead, and Paula clawed her back, and then got ahead.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. Lisa
Wild.
held on, and still best run ever for
Still best
seventh,
run
and
ever.
then the
Tamara
old
ran
Colonel.
into Tamara ran into fourth, so good for her. Alumni. Yeah, Colonel Sanders ran like he just you can't ever count that guy out for a second.
no.
He's
Fuck.
so good over the 70.3 distance. It's crazy.
It is crazy to see. And then obviously Christian with the flat. I think like even Lionel said in his video, basically he's like, how much better would I have had to do to compete with Christian if Christian didn't flat? Like assuming
3 minutes better.
even if Christian just went with Justin and rode the same bike as Justin and then ran like a 109, well, he still beats Lionel by like, at least 3 minutes. So yeah, but obviously Christian with some bad luck there. Ran a 107 something after that. And I don't know, did he
109.
bike hard? No, it was a 107 something.
I think.
He was 107.
No, wait, didn't Ari,
Ari
run
ran
107?
109.
No, Ari was the
Oh.
109.
Okay, sorry. I thought that Ari ran the fastest. Oh no, Christian. Fuck me. Yeah. Okay, got it. Sorry.
Ari ran a 109 with a nerd belt. Like, mad respect. to
That's
that
legit.
guy.
Nice. Yeah, that's real good.
That's a
Honestly,
style
like,
choice.
the guy's got grind in him, I'll tell you, because every year he's like, I'm biking like 350 watts. Why can't I do it in a race? And then, like, finally he seems to have biked really good in a race. Probably mostly by himself. So good on him. Should keep improving. Any other notable things there? You know, Goosey
I don't
Did you guys
know.
watch the T100 races?
Nope.
No, I woke up and saw some
man.
results though, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right, that's that race. Great job.
I
It
was,
was
like,
great.
Was there even a? Did it even happen? Like, I don't. This time around, it didn't. Like, honestly, I was like, oh,
I
they're like
watched the full
T100
replay
recap.
of
I'm
both
like,
races.
wait, is it this weekend?
How'd it go for your 10-second synopsis, Garrick?
Good.
All right.
I was gonna say I woke up and looked at the results before the race, before Oceanside, and I was like, well, per usual, we had like 15 finishers, and I
It's a
just think
stupid-
it's so
stupid race.
lame.
But the
it's
coverage,
dumb.
the coverage and the course is great. But it's a stupid race to do.
I
It's
just saw
so
Hayden
hot.
get pissed
It's
at everybody
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
Oh yeah, on the bike. Yeah.
because Van Riel didn't pass and left a gap, and like I don't know what happened here.
Because I think when he was coming up, there was a gap open, and he was going to go around him. And as he was coming up, he closed the gap on him. So then he couldn't slot in. So he was getting mad. But then the ref was like, "It's okay, man. You can just go back there," and didn't give him a penalty.
Yeah. If you throw a fit, it's a good idea to just get out of it.
Yeah. And then Jan called it out. Like, I think that should be a penalty.
Good.
so,
That's good. They need announcers to do that.
Yeah. But then the race just blew apart. So
Yeah, it's just boring for me to watch like single people run and bike by themselves.
how do you know they're single?
I don't know.
Do-do-do.
They're not allowed to wear like rings anymore, or is that just
Holy
Or
moly.
is that just draft legal racing? What, Jackson?
Kate Woff wins by 6 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, she destroyed
That's
Yeah.
unreal. Wow.
that Bahrain juice.
Hayden Wow with a big boost is pretty big lead as well.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't
Well,
know how I didn't see any of this.
I don't know if anyone knew about it or anything, but I did a race in South Africa.
I know. I
We
keep
played the recap.
Yeah, we
on
have
here
done a whole
last
podcast and we
episode.
played your race recap.
Oh,
It was
okay.
basically the entire last episode. Just
Okay.
Nick.
just
Sweet, you guys.
Then you got sick. When you got home. What happened there?
Just talk to us about your travel. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, the travel cumulative number, ladies and gentlemen, was around 70-something, low 70 hours. There and back.
TSS on that.
The TSS is one thing, but the security checkpoint score, what on the way there was like 8, and the way back was like 9. 9 security checkpoints in and out. Oh my
That's insane.
Lord. It was insane for sure. I don't know how I survived it, but
You
I
probably
can
were
tell
like,
you,
wait a minute, so you live in Utah, and then you went to Vegas, and then you went to Toronto for a couple days, and then you were in Europe, and now, wait a minute, this is bullshit. We're going to ask some more questions.
no, everyone's just like, have a stellar evening, sir. But the good news is we broke it up. I had 3 red-eye flights in a row, which kind of did help me get on the time zones because I was just forcing myself to sleep during all the regular sleep time zones I was heading to. So by the time we arrived in Port Elizabeth, it was like 3 p.m. Felt good. Got like this nice musical entourage right outside. And then, of course, we didn't get picked up by our transportation. That was pre-scheduled. No big deal. Happens. So took like a 30-cent Uber. Like everything is ridiculously cheap. I think it was like $5. Like the meals were, I would get Uber Eats or I get DoorDash like almost every night, and I get like this whole spread. And it would normally be like $40 here in the U.S., but it was like $12, $13. It's like, yeah, bring it every day. The food was cheap. The people remarkably kind and warm. Like the South African accent is, to be honest, the best one of all the accents. It's like romantic. You just want to like high five everybody because they're so cuddly. Only felt a little scared a couple times. And also like,
Okay, wait. When?
In what,
How?
in
Why?
what context? Yeah.
I'll tell you that later. Don't worry. I don't want to get, I just wanted to tease you. Got a little scared once, but I'll tell you about it later. I feel like in South Africa, if you've got a glass bottle and you're out hanging out with your gals or bros, and you're just hanging out, and it's 3 a.m. This is exactly how it looked, by the way. At 3 a.m., there was a Macca's right in front of us and like clubs, and so it was like all night long. I look outside race morning, and there's like literally 300 people just mingling out in the parking lot. I'm like, this is pretty fucking serious. But I feel like everybody who has got a drink smashes on the ground, because I walked out there and I was like, there's nothing but glass out here. Does nobody throw anything away ever? And you had to be very careful walking barefoot, which is what I did every day walking to the
Beer
ocean.
cans aren't allowed in South Africa. Only bottles.
Didn't see a lot of beer, saw tons of glass. So that was that. Where do you want to steer me next?
You said a couple times. That was only once
Yeah.
A couple times what?
You were scared.
that you were scared.
Yeah, anytime you're walking at night, that's times number one. Just kind of avoid that. People are eyeballing you up. But there's people walking around with nightsticks and vests on. So you're like, all right, pretty safe. If anyone gets out of line, they're going to get beat to hell.
Those people are actually the good people.
Yeah, I know. I feel like they tried really hard to make sure safety was paramount, because there was like armored vehicles rolling through. You know, that makes you feel safe. Kind of not.
Guys, just one real quick thing. At Oceanside this past weekend, before the swim, there was a fucking sniper laid out on top of one of like the roofs, like overlooking like the harbor. There's a sniper just
It's
up
probably
there.
training.
Isn't that wild though? Like someone
He's
pointed
probably
out
like
to
doing
me.
like dry firing target practice. Like, I got you. I got you. I got you.
Well, yeah, no, the snipers, that's a real thing. I remember in the pro briefing, I mean, to talk about New York City Try Again,
Yeah.
they would be like, there are 30 snipers across the course. If you see them, like, that's...
We got
they're
assets
there.
on
They're supposed
12
to be
roofs.
there.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows where 13 of them are, but we know where 3 of them are. And we don't even know. So you'll probably be safe. Don't worry.
They could be one of ours. They could be just, you know, someone. I hope they're not.
That was crazy. That was like, wow, this is America. This is what America's all about right here.
Oh, no, we got sentry turrets every 30 kilometers every 3 kilometers for this 30-kilometer run.
Yep.
Okay, back to you, Nick. Though, so
Oh.
would you go back and do this race again if it's same time next year?
Only because of the travel, I would not.
Yeah, everything else was good. What? But it was like.
What if I
early-
actually go
early.
this time and we actually have you come out here a week, or we do a real?
All
thing?
right, let's go.
That'd be great.
That way I can show you around and be like, all right, bud, get ready for this. We got a 8-hour flight. Then we're going to sleep in a hotel at the airport for 10 hours. It's going to be great. No big deal. I'll get you lunch, breakfast. It's right there in the terminal. Got to go in and out of security 3 times. Don't worry. It's worth it. And then we got a 10-hour flight, which I will have upgraded and got a better service class than you. So don't worry. You'll walk by me and I'll glare at you. I'll get a real meal. I'll get to put my feet up and sleep, and you'll be all shitty. But then we'll get to the race all nice and clean.
Sounds good.
I like it.
Yeah. No, we'll see. We'll see.
The travel would make it, I mean, even for Europeans, they got to take 1 10-hour flight plus a connector usually. So it's a bit of it's like us going to Europe and having the race.
Yeah.
But for Americans going to
South Africa,
it's like, you usually got to plan like 3 days for that, just travel alone. It was tough.
I just wanted to say you were the top American and probably pretty much the only North American who went and actually had a solid day that you'd be happy with.
Oh,
you know?
Look at that.
yeah. I didn't
Look
know
at that.
There you go.
And to be clear, I've swam in really crazy shit, and I love swimming in crazy shit. This was cancel 100 out of 100 times in the U.S. type of shit. Like, it was...
That's crazy.
Like, take a swimming pool above ground and just shake the shit out of it. Everyone's doing cannonballs in it. It's like there's just chop, and you can't predict anything. That's what it was like. You were like, breath, water. Okay,
That's
time
like
it.
that.
Breath,
Why was it
water,
like
water.
that? Wasn't it like just
it
the
didn't
beach?
seem like that on
No,
on the
it didn't.
camera. It didn't.
The stretch on the way out to the first buoy, we were like, all right, this is great. And then you take a left and it's like machine gun to the face. And as you get further out there, it was even and you couldn't sight. I had to sight like 30 times to be like, oh, there's a foot. And I was like, second loop, I was like, we're going to be just fucking plowing into the age groupers. How are they surviving?
They were
and
probably
sure
so
enough,
scattered.
oh, sure enough, like halfway into the second lap, I see people like floating on their backs.
Oh no!
Breaststroking everywhere. I was like, Jesus. I was like, just diving and trying to get around everybody.
That did a number on a lot of the pros too. That like DNF just because it was too much for them.
Oh God, it was crazy. But I still wish I would have kind of been a little bit more in contact with Cody at least. So that would have been nice. Either way, I think riding on my own was the best one of the day, like straight out of the gate. And the reason why the waves were so bad is because it was like a east, it's like a southeast wind. They say southwest. West is best, east is beast. That's like they're saying there, which is pretty cool. And so we had a southwest, so it was just pushing off the shore barely. But then when you took that left for that first out, it was like 45 minutes of pure 20 plus mile an hour winds with gust uphill. So you were punished if you were not climbing an arrow. Like I'd sit up and be like, oh, there's 3 miles an hour gone. Now I get back tucking. And just super tough, but you got such a reward for like the back half because you were just cruising at like 27 to 35 to 40 miles an hour. Crazy updraft down that Rudy wing helmet took me like Mary Poppins style up in the air. That thing was catching so much updraft.
I don't know if that thing's a move. I don't know, man.
I could say that it's fast in a nice straight bucket, but man, it was turbulent. But I bet any aero helmet would have been because of the way the winds were just so cross heavy. And then the run was awesome. One of my favorite run courses. It was a 4-loop run, and it was all up and down the Strand. And the first out was like a little bit of an incline, and then had a hill. Turn around, decline all the way back, and then another hill. And then you kind of repeated. It was varied the whole time. The crowd support was awesome. Super, super great overall experience, and loved the culture and the people. There was a bike shop right at the base of my hotel with a cycling cafe. The food was easy to get to and eat. We had really cheap. We went how I was scared. We went to the Otto Elephant Park. Matt Hansen and Cody Beals. I made them do something with me because they
Oh
were.
my god!
I
How was
figured
that trying to get Cody to do that?
I don't know. I think once I got Matt to go, Cody was like, all right, I want to come all the way to South Africa and not do anything, including finish a race. And so Matt had a rental car, and I was like, all right, we can drive. And so we did this 1:40 drive, 2-hour drive.
Did Matt drive?
Yeah, Matt drove, and it's
Matt's
the other
kind
side
of
of the road.
Matt's kind of a scared driver on the right side of the road.
He did well. Like,
And I love Matt
kudos to
Hansen.
Matt. Kudos to Matt. He did great considering we also, on our route, all of a sudden we're looking ahead. There's like taxis pulled off the side of the road. There's a bunch of smoke. And we're like, all right, let's see what happens. And so I can see all this debris that has been physically put all over the road. Charcoal pits. It was like vandalized road. And I was like, oh shit. I've seen movies that just pull you off into the woods and you're gone. And so we had to get diverted through some of these neighborhoods. And I've got some video footage of it, but it is like exactly the scariest living conditions you could probably imagine, and with the lowest standard of living conditions. Tin shacks, close out. I mean, hundreds of people also. I'll put it all in my race vlog also that's going to be on YouTube. Like and subscribe. You'll be able to see it all.
The first two, and I can't wait to see it because they've been great for watching while I'm on the trainer.
Thanks, bud. But I'll tell you, that was scary because we got diverted purposely into this neighborhood and then made it out the other side. Like I was on the map, I was like, go left. And I was like, Matt, I don't care what you do. If I tell you to fucking go, drive. Because I've been to Iraq and I know what the streets be like, dog. And so we made it out there. It was no problem actually. And everyone, like all the kids and everything were waving at us. Like, so it wasn't as scary as we felt. But then went to the elephant park. That was all good. Came back the next day. I was talking to my Uber driver. I was like, hey man, what do you think? Were they protesting? He was like, yeah, they were probably didn't get the funding or the shipments or whatever they were demanding there. And so he's like, dude, I wouldn't even ever drive through that neighborhood. He's like, you must have gone through on a really lucky day. He's like, I wouldn't have fucked around with that. And I was like, all right.
That's wild.
GPS took us that way. I don't know what to tell you. They tried to kill us.
Oh my God. That's crazy. There's
See,
always
makes me-
crazy.
It makes me not want to travel, like outside of the safe countries.
The world is definitely way bigger and way scarier in some places than we could ever imagine. That's why we see it on TV and we're like, oh my God, that's scary. But then when you're there, you're like, this is real.
Yeah, puts things into perspective. We have it quite lucky. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So thanks for asking. That was my race. This water bottle's from the race. I'm so thankful.
Ooh.
Precision Hydration is on non-US races. I don't know if it's on US races, but all electrolytes in Europe. This was the best thing that I've ever had during a race. On course.
Did they have ice on course?
Hell yeah, man. They did such a great job. Good ice, bag. Give me some bag water. Can I just buy bag water at the store?
Just go,
Yeah, bag water. You never knew how amazing it is.
That's the thing that kills me racing in Europe is they don't have ice. They're just like, we don't believe in anything cold here. No air conditioning, no ice.
They make fun of us for that, by the way. And I think I've had ice on European courses, bro.
Not in Spain.
Bro, I've had
Sweden.
plenty of ice at many races, bro.
Wait, so I want to know. So next up for you, Nick, is St. George.
Yes.
Jackson, you're going to St. Anthony's, then St. George. Garrick, we got Ironman Texas.
Jackson's doing Chattanooga too. Chattanooga.
Well, yeah, but that's later.
And I knew.
He's
This
gotta
is
do-
next
You're doing
weekend.
Ironman Texas, Lisa?
No, Garrick.
Oh, you said we. I was like, are you crazy?
I mean, we as in like
Yeah.
Garrick.
Yeah, but
did say
Garrett
we.
does like 5 Ironmans a year, and it's no big deal, and he keeps getting better each time, and it's easy for him.
I know, but it's like in 2.5 weeks. Ironmans are a big deal.
Oh shit! It's
How you
that soon,
feeling?
man.
Have your energy levels come around? You were a bit tired on your training. You said that one time last week.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm executing my training, but I'm like sleepy tired. Like, not physically fatigued tired. I'm just very sleepy tired. Like, I'm just sleeping a ton.
Can I
So
give you
don't
some
know what-
advice as someone who's already
Always,
raced an
Nick.
Ironman this year?
Yeah, always.
Ironman will ruin your life. Don't do it.
I can
Pull out.
You know, it's funny, Nick, when you say like, "Can I give you advice or something?" Because a lot of times you say stuff, you'll like drop one-liners or you'll say something, and I'll just like be like, "Oh yeah, think about it," and then like months later, I'll be like, "That was a really good piece of advice that like I truly like respect him for saying that." And
I'm like a ninja. It's like when your wife and you're ending an argument and she's like, "You're stupid like your father," and you're like, "Ha, that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm out of here. You're dumb." And you shut the door and then you stew around in the garage and you're like, "Wait a minute. I came from my father. He raised me. My father's a brilliant man." And so you run back inside and you start the fight over again, and she fucking got you right in the old delayed ninja reaction.
Okay.
That was a Dane clip.
those highlights.
That was a Dane
That's
Cook
another
joke.
clip. This freaking episode has so many great clips that we got to use. So yeah, Garrick, Ironman. Here's what you got to do if you're tired. You go home before bed tonight. You take about 50,000 IU's vitamin D. Probably just fix your whole body.
That's what Jackson does. I swear to God.
Man,
My
I'm
energy's been
nervous.
great.
I'm actually nervous about Ironman Texas because my first race of the year is always bad, always something wrong. And like this year, I was like, you know what? Yeah, first race of the year, Ironman.
I think what you should do then is that like next weekend you should have like go to a little local race or just put on a little local race around your neighborhood and you go have the bad race
There's no
experience.
local triathlons in
No,
freaking Michigan.
like
in
Morgan can
April.
like
snowing where
set
he
it
lives.
up. You know,
It actually snowed
time
here
you.
yesterday, Lisa.
Okay, indoor
Yeah, it's snowed here.
triathlon. Indoor
-8
triathlon.
No,
today. Here.
We'll just go and let it be bad
Here's-
or good.
Here's what's gonna be. It's normally you have a bad race, but since this race is so long, you'll get your bad race out of the way, and you'll only be like quarter of the way down the race, and then you'll be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, all right, I remember how this works now," and then you'll freaking crush it
No,
in the last half.
The
of the bike.
real, like, you gotta have the reason that when we sat down and we planned this is because I didn't want to have I always get a good fitness boost from an Ironman, and my Ironmans always get better throughout the year, and I didn't want to go to Roth and that be my first Ironman of the year or my first full distance of the year. So I was like, you know what? We'll just do Ironman Texas, get this shit out of the way early, and then I'll be ready to go.
Do you need any help planning your Roth excursion, by the way? I mean, I can help.
Yes, I do. I texted you the one time, and you were like, "Yep, no, ain't got nothing."
Wait, no. Did I say that? No way. Come on. Frig off. I wouldn't have done that. Not once.
Probably
Calm
texted
down.
him like while traveling back from Africa or something.
Yeah, I kind of went dark,
Whatever.
but I didn't go dark because of the travel. I was fine. It wasn't until I got home at 10 p.m. and Amy picked me up from the airport in Vegas. We still had an hour 40 drive. Just kidding. We booked a hotel. We got hammered and had a great time. Didn't go to sleep till 4 a.m. Woke up the next day, drove home. It just felt awful. And then I got 2 hours of sleep the next night because I couldn't sleep. And then I got sick. So I think
I
that might
wonder
have.
why.
What do you do when you haven't slept for 3 days? Well, you drink freaking way too much alcohol and don't sleep again, and then get
No,
sick the
I
next-
did. I slept a lot on the aircraft and at the hotel, so I got sleep. It was just I really fucked it when I got home.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You got time to St. George, so all good.
I don't see this
We're gonna
text.
get into our Zwift races. Our Zwift, not races. Well, some races, but Zwift workouts, bud. Mondays and Fridays, every freaking week. We're doing it. Me and Cody
Awesome.
did yesterday. He was just chilling on my wheel as normal, but if you were there, at least there would have
Wait,
been a little
Cody's
bit more.
already training hard?
Well, he didn't really train hard. Like he was doing like tempos for the 3-minuters, I'd say.
I knew I shouldn't have gotten sick. I just ruined it. He's already training.
The season's over.
Season's over.
He also only ran 6K.
Yeah, that does a much less toll on the body. I can submit to that.
Yeah, of course.
Frick. Yeah, you're right. I'll get back on the Zwift train. Thank you.
Or just ride outside because you'll get better and you'll be able to handle your bike around
Lisa.
turns better.
Did you even see my Strava? Did you see
I-
the
I
title
think
of
I liked-
my last long ride?
I think I did. Wait, no.
Up.
I saw one of your Stravas recently where you rode inside for like 5 hours. Was that one?
It would have been the next week after that.
What was it, 6? Oh,
No, it was
man.
5 hours again.
All right, I got a new
Oh,
segment
my
for us
God.
real fast. I want to play it right now while we're on this topic, and this is called "This is
Okay.
Guess What Lionel Said," or "This is what Lionel said."
Or did
Lionel
say
said,
it, or
"No,
not?
no,
Oh, I
this is just what he said." What is it? 5 hour. Oh God, because of Lisa.
5 hour ride should only be done on the trainer. Lisa Becharas. I didn't see that. Yeah, tag me
Lisa-
next time.
Lisa, I heard Lionel said, "Trainer miles only count for a third of the mile."
Oh my god.
Wait, they only count for a
False.
third? They count for less than outside?
Yeah,
I thought
that's
he
why
was
you got to
only,
do more.
I thought he was only training
trainer
15
or
hours a
treadmill?
week.
Trainer. He said that if you're doing a mile, you've only done a third of a mile, and if you're trying to get to 100 miles, you got to do however many thirds more.
Did he actually
He
say
didn't
this, Nick,
say
or are you
that.
making this up?
This is what Lionel said.
No, Lionel didn't say that.
I say false.
Hey, the whole premise of "This is what Lionel said" is he just says all kinds of random, meaningless shit that eventually makes sense, and we're all like, "Oh my God, he's a genius!" All right. So
The
this
segment
guess what
should
Lionel
be-
said.
The segment should be, did Lionel say this? And then you say the quote, and we have to guess if he said it.
All right, all right.
That would
That'd be
actually probably be really good.
That'll be the next segment. But that's going to require a deep dive into a lot of videos.
Talbot's got to get going on the videos so we can have a new one every week.
No, we can just go back in history, like just start from day one Lionel videos and work our way through.
Yeah, back when he's like, I only drink water. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So Garrick's doing Ironman and then Ironman. Nick's doing St. George.
Then Roth.
Okay, so you guys are both going Roth.
I think I'm going to do 6 Ironman this year, full distance.
Stop.
At least.
But he's bullshit. And then Lisa and I are doing both St. Anthony's,
Lionel
both
said.
St. George. And Lisa's not doing Chattanooga, right?
No, I'll go to Eagle Man. Well, TT. Oh, guys, I got into TT Pro Nationals. They let me in, so I got to do that.
Yeah, no shit, they better. You're like probably one of the top 10 in the country for sure.
I bet they were watching that Ironman feed, and then someone called someone else on that decision panel, and they're like, fuck, boys, you see what she's doing live on television? We got to let her in now. You can't say no.
They let me in before the race. And I think the only reason they let me into the race was because they knew how big of a pain in their ass I would have been had they not let me into the race. So I think it's just
Or
easy.
because you had that TT result where you freaking crushed everyone.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
but it's gonna be fun.
They respect you, obviously.
I think honestly they just want my money because it costs like $200.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely they want the money.
Easy. Yeah. They just want my money.
Well,
I would have charged you more.
Awesome.
Speaking of costs, I looked at what it costs to sign up for Eagle Man as an age grouper. That is insane. How
What was
expensive
it?
that is. It's like $500.
That's
For
what I'm pretty
why?
sure that's what like Oceanside was too.
Oh my gosh,
Crazy.
inflation.
But at least Oceanside is, there's
they have
cool
to-
aspects to Oceanside.
They have to make sure that you have enough money to for the entry fee, so you can have enough money to find a place to stay in for Eagle Man.
Okay.
Because
Speaking of that, Garrick,
it's really expensive.
gotta send you some money, I guess.
You can send it to me, Jackson.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Well, Garrick and Jackson, just so you know, if you're sending money across the border, I expect to see those tariffs.
Or not.
Hey,
It's
we have
40%.
reciprocal.
Hey,
tariffs
hey,
as
we're
well,
exempt.
sir.
We're exempt. It's not steel or aluminum or auto parts or whatever.
If you live in China and you want to race an Ironman in the U.S., you got to pay those tariffs.
God.
Well, we
Do they actually?
That's
Canada
what Lionel
is
said.
kind of China at this point.
Friggin' told me right to my eyes.
Oh God. Well, in any case, racing. Lisa and I, St. Anthony's is next, I guess, and Garrick's same day for freaking Texas. So we'll
Nope,
finish the
day
race,
before.
and you'll be
Day
like
before.
Day
20.
before.
Oh, it's the day before. We can follow. Oh,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
So we're gonna finish at the same time.
Ooh. Oh, whoa.
Lisa, have you heard about homestay yet?
Yeah. I'm staying in my same homestay. I have more.
I haven't heard back yet. I was like,
You should probably send an email.
I can have you set up with where I stayed, Senator Lindsay Cross, right down near the race site. She's a lovely gal. She'd probably host you.
she's not already on the homestay list?
She probably is. She may have someone, but I could ask her.
Okay, well, I went through the program and everything. They just haven't messaged me yet.
Oh,
But
they're like, yeah, that guy. He
what's the
doesn't
name of the
deserve
person,
it.
Lisa? What's her name? What's the homestay?
Beth
person?
Shaw.
Maurice. Well, it's spelled Maurice, but it's the guy, the gal who
Carolyn
Kuiper.
Carol-
She is
Kuiper.
the best homestay coordinator you will ever meet in your entire life.
Yeah, she's freaking rad.
The whole St. Petersburg will get behind a pro athlete, even if you are just like your first race ever. They'll make you feel like a gem.
Yeah,
No, it honestly is that cool. It's freaking.
it's the hands
It's
down.
awesome.
It's my favorite race.
All right, can we end talking about Mark Dubrik? How was he at this race? Because I know he may have had some FOMO. He's dealing with an injury. He's an emotional guy, but he holds it all in. Is he okay?
Dude, I didn't see him like all weekend because he was doing like photo shoots and whining and dining and seeing his family
That guy is
for
the
every
biggest
meal.
schmoozer I've ever seen in the world.
All right, so he's doing all right. He's doing okay.
He is doing all right.
I'm like,
And
what the
guys,
hell is this guy doing here? He's not even racing. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Mark. He's just like,
He's-
where's everybody doing a triathlon this weekend? Let's go hang out.
He's like, hey, you gonna be at the expo? All right, I'll be there all day.
I'll be
I got
there
like
too.
7 partners. I'm gonna get food from this guy. I'm gonna get a shirt and a hat from this guy. I'm probably gonna get
I'm
my
gonna go do a
chain
swim,
waxed.
come back, interview with breakfast with Bob, go do a run.
He's like, I gotta keep his street cred up.
He did. He did
Yeah.
keep his street cred up, and he was great because he helped true my rotors before the race. So
I saw that video.
Yes. How did your
also,
rotors get bent?
they've just been bent for about 3 years.
Because you just throw them in the bike case like a frisbee. Like, get in there.
No, it's
Oh,
between,
it made it.
between some Tupperware, but it's always the
Oh.
same, you know. But I
One
might
day
invest
someone's
in some
gonna make
rotors.
a proper freaking caliper for these rotors where you can actually adjust it with a freaking adjustment situation instead of like,
I
oh, it's off. Well, good luck. Freaking trial and
No, no.
error for 3 hours.
The technology is so sophisticated that it can sense the middle of the rotor range just by squeezing the brakes gently. And then if one side's fucked up on one side, it's not going to matter. So just don't worry. It's not going to work. God.
But yeah, Mark was good. He survived, and I think he'll thrive.
How was Mark Goddard?
Oh my God, he's probably one of my favorite men in the world. Before the race, he let me put my hands under his armpits to get warm before the swim. It's very nice of
Oh,
him.
wow.
Above and beyond sponsors.
That's a brow. That's a brow right there.
But yeah, it was cool. Zoot people are freaking rad. They're great.
So Lisa went St. Anthony's. Mark, is he racing again in the near future? Do we know?
I think he's planning on St. Anthony's.
What was his? He's never come out and told any of us what actually happened. What's going on?
He's got a like.
He told me there was tendon torn, pulled. I can't remember.
Partially torn tendons at like on the outside, kind of like fifth metatarsally area.
Man,
Is he running?
He has been jogging, running.
I just saw him run on some effing sand dunes.
Well, that's influencer Mark.
Yeah,
That's
I
different than
always
athlete
comment
Mark.
like, this looks like a great idea for someone with a foot injury to run on. Man,
Just gonna send it.
Oh man. But the rest of the squad, well, there's so many of us on the pro squad, so I can't keep track of everyone. But Colin, he's going to. Is his next race St. George?
Yeah, St. George. But I figured he was gonna do Texas. I guess he did not get on that list because he was supposed to do South Africa, but he
Yes.
didn't.
Yeah.
whole new Colin this year, not
No.
doing every single race.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought he was doing Texas.
Is he on the list? Did the list come out yet? No.
No, he has not.
it's
Which
not
is
been
why,
precisely
remember,
8 hours.
Remember when they used to have a list of like just the entries,
Entries?
before it was
Yes.
confirmed and you could see?
Yeah. Let's bring that
Yeah.
back.
I
Remember
know.
when they said there's going to be punishment for those who don't request to remove their name from a start list
Yeah, because
before?
those
Cam
people
Worth.
just keep showing up to races and not finishing.
Yeah, but Cam Worth just does whatever he wants,
Cam
just
Worth.
shows up.
That guy, man, he freaking Chattanooga. He literally like got on the list for like they had him draw his name for when he's gonna start or whatever. Like the day before, he's like,
He
well, I know
never-
I'm not there yet, and I'm not at the pro meeting, but I'm still going. And of course, he didn't show up, and everyone's like, this guy's unbelievable. Like they literally changed the whole format of the race, had to draw numbers for the start order, and he still tries to leave that nugget in there that he might show up. He's like, well, there technically is still a flight I could book in the next 13 seconds and get my way there. That guy's crazy.
He's like, I'm a pro cyclist. I got to do whatever I want. God, I don't even get mad at it anymore just because he's such a likable, fun guy.
Yeah. Well, in Oceanside, he's like, yeah, well, I guess I got disqualified. Whatever. Go run now. It's a good workout.
He's like, oh yeah, no, I'm still gonna run.
Did he
My
finish?
my headset was just loose. It's just driving around the course with the headset all dangling
Well,
around.
you should have flown in more than 6 hours before this race, I guess. But
No, he just lives up north. I guarantee he drove.
Yeah.
oh yeah, true.
All right.
Well, we should
Let's
probably
wrap
wrap
this
it.
up.
Oh wait, I was supposed to tell people about my big running news.
Oh,
Did a
yes,
run
yeah.
today.
Oh,
Big interval session on the treadmill, 5x2 minuters and 5x1 minuters. Not very fast, but faster than I've run in about 8+ weeks. So
how's the body feedback? Is the body feedback good after that session?
really good. My freaking quads aren't used to pounding anymore, so every time I run, my quads are sore. But other than that, foot's good. Been building up slow, so I'm pretty confident I'm not going to re-injure because I haven't had any pain in the area of the break at all. So I'm happy with that. And I should get 5 run workouts in before. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 run workouts in before St. Anthony's.
And that's
And
really
2
all you
long
need.
runs.
That's all Lionel did before this race.
That's what Lionel said.
That's what he told me.
In any case, it's a 10K, so, I'm not going to lose as much time as I would if it was a half. So my goal is
And
to
you're
just
going to come off
hammer the
the bike.
365 on the bike, power goal, and
What time do you think that'll make you sub 50? You gotta go sub 50.
Maybe what's a bike course record? I've got to go for that. I mean,
It's probably set by Cam Dye in a motorcycle. That's what Lionel said.
one thing about St. Anthony's, Lisa, you'll have to tell me. Actually, do the women probably don't have a car, but every time I've been in St. Anthony's, the lead car, I've been like, bro, that's like 50 meters ahead of the leader. That's the one thing about the race that always ticked me off, but it was always in the one section that you see it, and maybe it's just because they just did a U-turn and they didn't get far enough ahead. But that was the one thing that I didn't like about St. Anthony's. Like the one year, just some of the leader's time, I was like, this is an uncharacteristic bike out of this fella. But in any case, if I just get to the front, then it doesn't matter.
You get the car then.
That's the benefit of being the best swimmer out there. You get that lead toe.
Yeah. So Greg's
Greg's
hold the fort on the front until I come on by.
Greg will be slapping the water real
Well,
hard
guys,
for you.
The swim is
Gonna bike
canceled.
like a 48.
All right. Well, anyways, that's my news.
That's good news.
Hi, Amy.
All right.
All right, wrap it up.
All right. All right, guys. Until next time, peace.
Oh.
I got ish to do, flying through the sky in my parachute, dancing on the couch like I'm Tommy Cruise on a one-man mission trying to see it through.